and my podcasts app has just opened on its own. That doesn't help. That doesn't help anyone. Hello there, I'm Greg, and today I'm making a display rack for my alien flamethrower. Not much introduction required here, really. In my last video I made a copy of Ripley's incinerator unit from 1979's Alien. It's 86 centimeters long, so it's frankly in the way. I'm rearranging my gallery wall and putting it up on the wall. Do I manage it? Yes. Spoilers. Just for novelty's sake, I'd like to pause here to thank my patrons. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. You are the reason I don't give up. Is that too negative? No, it's fine. You can follow me for free or for as little as $3 a month. Patreon. The 3 Ps. So that's out of the way. Now let's get on with the build. Like with my Mandalorian blaster rack, this one also begins with a manky old plastic crate. A very manky old fruit and veg tray indeed, but the mank is part of the aesthetic of Alien. I thought I might use this for a Starbug from Red Dwarf thing because it's green, but it turned out to be for this. These are the protective corners you get on a big picture frame. These triangular things that I thought I would use as my shelves or hooks. So I've laid the prop onto the backboard, and then I'm deciding where the hooks go, and I'm going to cut out a little window for the wand, the prong on the side of the flamethrower, to go into to get it as flat to the wall as possible, which becomes quite a big ongoing plot thread. So here, just folding down the sides and using my rotary tool to cut through the hinges. Nice bit of side, I might keep that. Then initially using my snips because I wanted to be quiet, but nothing beats a rotary tool. It's noisy, but it's fast, like Velcro. I've just finished dremeling, and this is why you wear goggles. Nasty stuff. I spotted these hinges and thought, that's a potential greebly. Is that a good greebly? Good greebly, Miss Molly. What are they, door handles? Edge adornments? I don't know, but I couldn't not save them. Then cut through, again using my rotary tool, and there's your base piece. Then using thin masking tape to mark off where I wanted to cut it, I've made it shallower. That's the first shallowing of multiple enshallowings. And as with all rotary action, you get crumbly dumblies, so there's quite a lot of cleaning up that gets edited out of most YouTube videos. And then this is my wand slot, my prong window, my probe aperture. I'm going to let that hang in the air. Okay, using my rubbishy mitre box to use as much of the length of the saw as you can. You don't want to just blunt the middle, but be careful not to do that. So one 45-degree cut, you get 2 lumps of batten, just cube square wood, and then cut them down to size and you've got 2 slopey bits of wood, which is slightly too narrow to fill in these frame corner protectors, so I'm thickening it with some lolly sticks. Or popsicle sticks. These are shims, another word I don't like. Plastic shims. You buy a bag of shims in various thicknesses. They're for spacing windows and tiles and things, but they just have a nice sci-fi look. So I've just stuck them onto the front of these wood blocks with some double-sided carpet tape and dots of super glue as well. And then anywhere that super glue may have squeezed out down the edge, I'm just dusting with baking soda to fill the gap and fuse the glue. These screws don't need to be neat because they're going to be covered up as well, so just drill through the wooden blocks and then countersink so that the screw sits flat. Brown paper tape just to cover up those screws because I want to cover them with mesh so you'll be able to see the screw. I don't need to explain that to you. This is Evo Stick 2-part epoxy. I think I prefer it to Gorilla, unless Gorilla want to sponsor me. Nice and thick and it sets quite quickly, and I thought if that doesn't hold on embroidery mesh, not grinding grating, embroidery mesh, then nothing will. But you do need to tape it in place or put a weight on it if it's horizontal. So I'm just taping the shim on with my thin masking tape to hold it while the epoxy sets. Best way to find letters is to speed yourself up slightly and play yourself backwards. So if you have the ability to do that, now's the time. This is a textured bit of plastic. It was a divider I had in a satchel, and it's just this slightly leather textured piece of flexible plastic that I've kept in my slightly leather textured piece of flexible plastic storage box. So all I'm doing is cutting a strip and then using my snips to sci-fi-ify the corners. 45-degree corners, like all the pieces of paper in Battlestar Galactica have just slightly sci-fi corners because they're on a spaceship. These are wooden letters I already had. There are a couple I prized off and re-glued on, but they're fine, it's fine. So yeah, they look good. And here, rearranging the wall, my boastful poster, my boaster for my short film, will still be there, it's just slightly lower down. So I think all my awards are now out of shot. But yeah, hold it up and mark the wall. You're going to paint the wall anyway, so just put pencil L's for each corner of the rack. Painting. I used up some black primer and then I used up some white primer, which actually worked really nicely. It's a zenithal highlight. So I painted it mostly black and the black primer ran out, and then sprayed it with white, sort of dusted it with the rest of the white from one specific angle, so all the shadows are now highlighted. Then I hit it with a little bit of Citadel Wraithbone, which is a warm white paint that I bought from our local gaming shop. While that dries, just using polyfiller, spackle, wall filler, whatever you want to call it, to once again, it's an ongoing task of maintenance, is fixing and refixing this wall. What this? You can buy postcards of it on Etsy. Cheeky. This is Mod Podge and black acrylic because I want to blend the letters in a bit with the background. So just slap a lot of that slightly thickened gluey paint on there and then stipple that goop. You see goop, you stipple it. Using the bottom of a Pepsi can as a makeshift dish. I'm fairly proud of that, you know, not massively proud, but it's an idea, isn't it? And then I'm putting on some UV resin and just stippling it with a toothbrush as it goes gummy. And I do have a little purple light, but it was a very sunny day, so this I just left in the sun and it's set. This is an unnecessarily complicated shade of red. It's magenta, crimson red, burnt umber and some black, because bright red just felt, I think I was shy of bright red. Red signage is correct for the Nostromo, however it's the wrong font. These wooden letters, I would love it if they were Euro style. Euro style is the 70s, 80s sci-fi font. You get it in Alien, Red Dwarf, Duncan Jones used it in Moon. It's the retro sci-fi font and it's beautiful. So this colour scheme is right, and I'm obviously just using the wooden letters that I had, but I do worry this looks a little bit like signage for a sort of fairly minor rural railway station. Much deeping or something, but it's great. And also the word is hidden behind the flamethrower, so you're never going to see it. That's my boy. This is lovely caution and hazard stripe themed washi tape that I bought online. These red and white squares particularly reminded me a lot of the onboard signage you get on the Nostromo, designed by I think Ron Cobb. And then these are quite wacky stickers. They say, you know, caution, typo, or danger, it's gin o'clock, or whatever. Caution, live, laugh, love, that kind of thing. But they have nice words on them, like caution, hazard, and danger. Weathering. That's a good Dalek singing. So it's time to weather. These letters I'm just hitting with an emery board. You want to scratch down to the black and Mod Podge mix, but not down to the wood. Like all weathering, it's pretty satisfying. It makes those edges just pop and happen and look many, many years old. Makes the edges pop and happen. What does that mean? Anyway, liquid chrome pen, scratch the edge of the nib down the edge of the letter, paying particular attention to whether there are any big black chips. You sort of fill those in with silver and it looks like many layers of paint over the years. So very happy with these letters. They're not the font I want, but they're the font I needed. Again, silver pen along all the edges, and boy does this rack have some edges. Spray painting it took ages, weathering it, getting in all the little rectangles. A lot of nooks and crannies to get into and then wipe out of. But it's worth it. As with the flamethrower, this is mostly black acrylic and lots of water, but with a dash of Agrax Earthshade to make it runny and slightly brown. Wob it into all the crevices. Oh, and this is one bit I added right at the end. Bit late in the day to add a new part, but I thought the bottom looked boring. It almost looked like just a straight cut line where I'd just cut a plastic crate in half. So this is the side of an aquarium gravel tray that I've snipped off into an L shape and just super glued and epoxied to the bottom. And now to try and make it blend in with the already weathered stuff, it's silver pen and just scraping a lot of dusty chalk pastels on there. Grey, reddy brown and browny brown. And then hit it as ever with my increasingly destroyed makeup brush. And it's blended. Space dust. The hanging. Welcome to the hanging, everyone. Don't worry too much about just patching up the paint on a wall. This has taught me you don't look at the wall, you look at the stuff that's on the wall. A couple of false starts for this hanging. So here I'm cutting a bit of batten, which is old table frame, screwing it onto the back of the frame from the front, then attaching two screws and washers and putting picture wire around it. So the idea is I'm hanging it from two screws that I put into the wall. 2, 3, 4, take an envelope under your drill, count yourself a bunch of dust. And there we are. I hate it. It's too far off the wall, it's too big. I think I want it there. I can cut about a thumb's width off the back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll have to change the bit of wood on the back. I wanted it to be finished, but it's not. I mean, hate's a strong word, but the right word to use in this case, because I did. It's the delays that happen when you're just about to finish something. In your head you're about to finish it. They're the hardest ones. So prise off the letters, which I thankfully stuck to a nice flexible piece of plastic, so that wasn't too hard. Then I'm removing this thick piece of wood, and again, a shallowing. It's been enshallowed. And remove the crumbly dumblies. So now this frame is as thin as it can be. It's as thin can be. I still haven't realised, well, we'll see in a minute. So this is just using brute strength, I'm just dismantling this old bit of picture frame because it's a thinner strip of wood. Attach this to the back with screws from the front and the back. Again, reattach this picture wire, and to get it even more flush with the wall, I've used a countersinking bit to make two little divots where the wall screws are supposed to go in, because of how flush with the wall and flat to the wall this frame's going to be. I hate it. Once again, hate is a strong word, but it's a strong feeling, and strong feelings need strong words. So, picture wire was not the way. If you're hanging a very heavy thing, don't use picture wire, which is one of those things that now it seems very obvious. Ow. But I didn't realise at the time. So I've put two screws in the wall already. I'm going to attach a wooden batten to the wall like I did with this shelf, and then screw the whole thing onto that batten. I don't ever want to have to rip off this sign again. I've now done it twice. So magnets, much like their cousins, cable ties, are they related? Magnets are very often the solution to life's little quibbles, foibles, setbacks and peccadillos. So super glue and baking soda really embed it on there, because these are tough little suckers, although they shatter easily. Isn't that weird? You think they're a solid lump of metal, but if you let them clack together as they want to, they crack. And for the ones that are recessed into the trench, I'm using super glue and baking soda, but now covering them in hot glue, which I'm smoothing out with a coffee stir stick. It was worth it, because slonking that on there with magnets, it slides and clonks, that's what a slonk is. It fits on there very nicely and made me feel very, very proud and happy and delighted. This didn't need doing, but it was, you know, you have an idea and you think, I'm doing that. You could just see the top edge of this white batten through the wand slot. So I covered the top of it with silver tape, because I've got some silver tape. And from all this adjusting and moving it around and placing it on the wall, I'd completely scuffed up the wall again. So let's touch up the paint on the wall again. Just remember that when you're doing a DIY job, you're never going to care about it that much ever again. Yeah, I think 6, maybe even 8 screws, basically a screw in almost every slot. This is now screwed through into the batten, and those screws, should I ever need to take it down again, are covered up with a magnetic strip. And I'm very proud of that and very happy with it. To level out the flamethrower, which you can't really do until it's up on the wall to realise is this level or isn't it, I've put a little foot of ribbed rubber floor matting on the right hand shelf. And because I'm very proud of the qualification, I'm going to hang my power loader license, class 2, on it as well. Here's the finished thing. So yeah, very happy with that, considering it's made out of stuff I already had, just bits and bobs, and took about 2 days. I like it a lot. Shame I can't see it. Today's YouTube channel recommendation is Anthony Ferraro's Create Sci-Fi. He turns cheap junk into science fiction, and I hugely admire his work ethic. And what else is there to say, really? Lots more coming up, as always. Why wouldn't there be? Patreon, I'm just going to say that. Hit the notification bell. Have I ever said that before? I've got a quite exciting commission that I'm really excited about, as I am about all exciting things. They're exciting, aren't they? Exciting things. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Lots of love from me, and I will see you very soon. Got my meter rule to adjust my lighting. Reflects on my glasses. No, now this one reflects on my glasses. Ah! Hang on. We used to have this on MASH Report a lot. Every week they would forget that my glasses are a nightmare to light, and they'd have to move all the lights around in green screen corner. There we go. Back when I was on telly.